What if I told you that the Washington Commanders are about to stop being just a promise and start becoming a real nightmare for opposing offenses? With Jaden Daniels lighting up the NFL in his rookie year, the front office doesn't just want to wait for the talent to blossom. They want to surround him with brute strength, defensive intelligence, and a championship mentality. And the names on their radar aren't just anyone. Darius Smith and Jalen Ramsey, two defensive monsters. Two players who could change the franchise's path as soon as this training camp. But is it really possible? Darius Smith would be the ideal replacement for the departure of Dante Fowler Jr., and more than that, he would bring leadership, intensity, and a hunger that fits Dan Quinn's new DNA. With 59.5 career sacks and still producing at a high level, Smith is the kind of player who closes games, who pressures quarterbacks and terrorizes offensive lines. And Jalen Ramsey? That would be the statement move. If the Commanders are truly ready to compete now, bringing in one of the most versatile and dominant corners of this generation is the kind of bold move that separates dreamers from champions. With 6 Pro Bowls and a winning mentality since his days with the Rams, Ramsey could be the piece that shifts the power balance in the NFC. And with a quarterback still on a rookie contract, Washington has the salary cap flexibility to dream big and act fast. It's the model that took the Eagles and Bengals to the top. Now, it might be Washington's turn. Oh, and speaking of changes, remember Sam Howell? The young QB, who started every game in 2023, may now be on his way to a third team in 3 years. Seattle is open to trading him, and several teams like the Broncos, Colts, and Browns are keeping an eye on the situation. He still has value. With nearly 4,000 yards and 21 touchdowns thrown in a tough environment, Howell might be that reliable backup who changes destinies in unexpected moments. But all of this leads to a simple question. Will Washington keep playing it safe, or will they slam the gas pedal and turn this roster into a real contender right now? The draft can bring promising talent, but veterans like Smith and Ramsey bring something that can't be taught: experience under pressure. And now it's up to you, fan. Would you be excited to see Darius Smith terrorizing rival QBs in a Commander's jersey? Do you think it's worth making a heavy investment in Jalen Ramsey if the price is right? Or would you prefer to stick to the draft route, developing young talent? Leave your opinion in the comments. And of course, if you like this content and want to stay updated on everything about the Washington Commanders, subscribe to Commanders Fan News today and turn on the notification bell. Because this path to glory is just getting started. Now let's talk scheme. Because this isn't just about names. It's about fit, tactical vision, and especially how Dan Quinn wants to shape this defense. Quinn built his reputation on 2 pillars: quarterback pressure and secondary versatility. He wants players who think like coordinators, who adapt, who confuse opposing offenses. And that's where both Darius Smith and Jalen Ramsey fit perfectly. Smith isn't just a typical edge rusher. He can line up inside, outside, switch sides on the snap, and still read the play. He's the kind of defender who turns a pass rush into controlled chaos. Imagine him alongside Jonathan Allen, Darren Payne, and a potential rookie from the draft. That's not just a defensive line. That's a living wall. And if you think that's strong, wait until you visualize the secondary. With Jalen Ramsey on one side, Marshawn Lattimore on the other, and young Mike Sainristil sliding into his ideal slot position, the Commanders' pass defense goes from vulnerable to a strategic nightmare. Ramsey excels in man-to-man coverage. He can disguise zone. He has vision, physicality, and above all, a championship mindset. He's the kind of player who shouts in the locker room and turns boys into elite soldiers. And with a secondary like that, Dan Quinn can do whatever he wants: disguise blitzes, hybrid coverage, safety rotations. The playbook opens. The margin of error for opponents shrinks. And NFL respect? That comes naturally. But all this hinges on one decision: dare now or wait for later. The window is open. Jaden Daniels has shown he can be the future and the present. He finished his rookie season with an impressive PFF grade of 90.6, the second highest ever for a rookie quarterback on the platform. This kind of talent on a rookie deal is a gift, a rare chance. And NFL history has already proven teams that capitalize on this moment win. Philadelphia did it with Jalen Hurts. Cincinnati did it with Joe Burrow. Now it's time for Washington to show they can play in the big leagues too. Commanders Fan News today wants to hear from you, loyal fan. Do you believe Darius Smith and Jalen Ramsey are the missing pieces to transform this defense into one of the most feared in the league? Or do you think the path should still be development through the draft? And about Sam Howell, do you see potential for him to shine on another team? Or do you think the Commanders gave up on him too soon? Let us know in the comments. Your voice matters, and the Commanders community is growing with fans like you. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any hot updates, rumors, or deep analysis about our team. A new era has begun, and together we're going to make some noise in the Capitol. As a Commanders fan, I have to be honest, it's been a long time since I felt this excited. We went through tough years, bad decisions, repeating cycles, and the eternal feeling that we were always one step away from something, but never quite there. But now something feels different. With Jaden Daniels at the helm, it finally feels like we've found the face of the franchise. A quarterback who not only delivers on the field, but who has that energy, that natural leadership that's contagious. And when you have that kind of talent on a rookie deal, man, it's now or never. That's why, in my opinion as a fan, going after Darius Smith and Jalen Ramsey isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. We can't make the mistake of wasting this window. Smith is the kind of player who walks into the locker room and changes the mindset. He's going to hold players accountable, lead, and pressure the rival QB like it's personal. And Ramsey? Man, he's a nightmare for any wide receiver. Can you imagine having him on one side and Lattimore on the other? That's not just a defense. That's a message to the entire NFC. The Commanders are coming back. And it won't be a joke. I know the draft is coming, and it's always good to develop talent. But you don't build a winning culture with just potential. You need guys who've already won, who've been there, who know the way. And Smith and Ramsey are exactly that. As for Sam Howell, look, I rooted for him. I thought he showed flashes, and with a decent offensive line, he could have grown. But with the arrival of the new staff, it was time to turn the page. And honestly, he deserves a fresh start. In Denver, in Cleveland, wherever, he still has gas in the tank. And I wish him success. Because in the end, what matters is that now we have our guy. Jaden Daniels is the future. And if Adam Peters is listening, open the wallet, brother. Because this defense with Quinn at the helm, Ramsey in the backfield, and Darius on the line is going to be a problem. And I want to see FedEx Field rocking again. I want to see playoffs in Washington. I want to see this fan base roaring like the old days. This is the moment. Let's make history. And you know the best part? For the first time in years, we're not just reacting. We're setting the tone. The arrival of the new front office, Adam Peters' bold attitude, Dan Quinn's tactical vision, all of this shows that the Commanders are no longer a lost team in the middle of the conference. Now we have a plan. And more importantly, we have the courage to execute it. That courage is what separates average teams from legendary ones. Because building a championship roster isn't about waiting for everything to go right. It's about creating the right conditions to win, even when it feels risky. As a fan, I'm tired of watching other franchises be aggressive, chasing the best names, while we sat back waiting for potential to become reality. Enough of that. The future is now. And if the front office manages to bring Ramsey and Smith into this roster, my friend, I'll tell you with complete certainty, nobody will want to face us in January. Just imagine that defense lining up with Payne, Allen, Darius coming off the edge, and Ramsey and Lattimore locking down everything in the back. That gives me chills. And with Jaden Daniels evolving with every snap, surrounded by the right pieces, this team has contender written all over it. And you know what? The Commanders' fan base deserves it. We've endured everything. Scandals, wild trades, clueless coaches, rental quarterbacks. And yet we stayed. Lol. Singing hail to the Commanders even on the worst Sundays. Now it's our time. Now it's time to dream big. And I want to hear from you, true fan. Do you also believe this is the right time to be aggressive? Do you want to see Darius terrorizing QBs at FedEx Field? Would you go all in to see Jalen Ramsey wearing our jersey and leading the secondary? Then drop your comments below. Let's make this conversation grow, because the fans' voice must be heard. And of course, if you want to follow this new era of the Commanders with hot news, honest analysis, and the perspective of someone who loves this team, subscribe now to Commanders Fan News today. Turn on the bell and come with us. Because the old days were rough, But the new days, they're going to be glorious. Until next time, Commanders family.